So if we think we see an impulse or a correction or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. As soon as we've set up this trade setup where we think we've caught a wave 2, let's clean up some of this stuff so you can see it better. Say we did think this, blah, blah, blah. We caught the wave 2. We're all champions. We'll take a base channel. Our drawing, our wiggles here are a little messed up, but essentially you go from the low where 1 started to the low of 2 to the top of your wave 5. When that price action completely shatters out of a channel, you've gone impulsive the majority of the time, right? It's another way to add confluence and probability that you made the right choice. So a lot of times you'll see the 5 waves in 3. It will shatter out of the channel. It might give you the back test here, but more than likely it will finish the wave 3, then back test the base channel for the wave 4 here in the macro. Oops, let me fix that back. Yeah, it'll back test here in the wave 4 of the macro count. And when we're looking for that wave 4 of the macro count, essentially, let's see if this is all just hand drawing, so it might not line up well. We pull a retracement tool from the low of 2 to the high of 3, and we're going to switch that to the wave 4 retracement that we saved in our templates. We don't want to see it pull deeper than 0.5. When it does, it shifts probability, right? Because number one, we're taking back more than 50% of a displacement and impulsive move. That alone will shift probability that we're going to come down here. The invalidation point of a wave 4 is overlapping into this degrees wave 1. Yes, so the top of the wave 1, that matches the same degree of the pullback that we would be thinking we might see in wave 4, right? So let's say wave 4 come on down in a 3-wave fashion typically, and it finds support on top of the channel. Maybe it even pulls down to this 382 and then jags off, yeah? Perfect. Another thing that we'll look for here when this gives us our maybe wave 4 pullback, I always do air quotes, no one can see them though, is that the actual wave 4 will give us hidden bull divergence on the RSI compared to the point where wave 2 was, right? And by that I mean when we're measuring in an uptrend for hidden bull, we're measuring along these lows, right, of the price action. And we would be measuring along the lows. Sorry guys, we're gonna try to do this on RSI. We'd be measuring along the lows of whatever RSI picture would be, right? So let's say RSI was coming up. Back here it makes wave 1. This is gonna be a super rough drawing. 3 makes the highest peak. Somehow 4, when it makes that 3-wave pullback, pulls back deeper than or equal to wave 2. When that occurs at the same time as our retracement fibs, we got to be telling ourselves, wow, we have multiple things pointing us in the right direction here. Now, we see our retracement fibs, we see the back test of the base channel, we see the hidden divergence of the wave 4 with the wave 2. Now we can also add into it another thing, give us 4 confluences for one trade. That's why the wave 4 strategy, excuse my mumbly mouth, is so strong, right? So we can take our, also to add a 4th confluence, we can take our trend-based corrective tool, pull it from the high of possible 3 to the low of the first leg of the correction of the maybe 4 to the high of the next retrace. Again, we're looking for it not to pass what? 1.382, because 80% of the time it's going to come between 1 to 1.382. 10% of the time it might drop to the 1.618, and the other 10% of the time it might stop here at the 618 extension, right? When we add all of these things into Confluence, it gives us the ability to make some really, really high probability trade setups where, let's say you were shooting for this wave 4 entry, you know your stop loss needs to be here, right? So it gives us a great stop loss. It gives us a great take profit, right? It gives us objectivity in trading. And that is something that we have to absolutely take advantage of. So yes, people say Elliott wave is subjective, yada, yada, yada. That's great. But when you add in all the math, when you add in the base channel, when you add in the divergences, is it really subjective?